Hello, and welcome everyone to Friday Night Hangout. Woo! I'm just super excited to welcome you. My week has been so exciting from one city to the other, doing various things, omugo duties here and there, meetings here and there. But it's just been so interesting, right? And I'm here with you. My name is Joy Onyesoh, the host of Friday Night Hangout. Okay, don't forget to use the hashtag TGIF. Use it and let me know where you are calling in from. Where you watching from? Please do let us know. Welcome. I see you. Welcome, welcome. Keep it coming in. TGIF. All right. Okay, so today is another interesting conversation. We're talking about nurturing friendships and then the art of building, sustaining, relationships. So this is really very critical, especially at a time like this, right? And when we talk about art, we know that it means something that is intentional, something that is honed, a skill set that is honed, right? A skill set that is, developed over time. No one was just born boom with all the necessary skill sets to nurture relationships and to build effective or sustaining relationships. Like last week, we had very robust conversation on how to build, an effective, long-lasting romantic relationship. We had amiable guest barrister Boma and Ekwe with us on studio, and so the conversation on relationship continues throughout this August because we understand the key role the different categories of relationships plays in our lives and in our achieving the different goals we've set out for ourselves. So tonight, if you're here with me or you're watching the replay, we're going to be talking about the art of nurturing friendships. How do you build lasting relationships, right? Now, you would indeed agree with me that friendships are indeed one of life's greatest treasures. So if you're here and you say, oh, I don't have any friends, you're missing out. You can't be the only good person on earth. God created us to be interdependent, right? So you're really missing out on one of life's many treasures. Now, I know how it is that with our very busy schedule, sometimes we tend to let valuable relationships fall by the wayside. Sometimes not intentionally, right? Because there's a lot going on with our different lives in our different spaces. But tonight, we're going to explore how to nurture the friendship and build connections that last because that's the goal. Not just building connections, but building sustainable connections, connections that are valuable to you, connections that can last over the test of time. Okay, so welcome to Friday Night Hangout. Stay tuned if you're just joining in. We're talking about nurturing friendships, we're talking about building lasting connections, and you are in the right place. Now, I want to move further from, the conversation that friendships are indeed one of life's many treasures to what are some of these little things that can strengthen friendships? Let's start from there. Nothing that will really stretch you to the extreme, right? So even if you are, we're improvising today, right? I'm not in the studio. So just bear with me as we improvise. Okay, so even if you're so busy, there are some little things that you need to be committed to doing to sustain the connections you have with your friends. The first one is understanding that little things go a long way in strengthening your connections, right? Now, I want you to reflect, what are some of those little things your friends must have done for you that you say, you see, this person did this for me, and for this reason, no matter what, no matter how angry I get, I would, forgive because of this. I would still give the person a chance. I will still do this. There are friends like that, that that no matter how much they upset you, no matter how much they do things, you just know that it's not from a place of, envy, it's not from a place of evil. It's just that they made mistake because mistakes will happen in relationships, right? So for you now, what are some of the things you can also do? The first one I want to put out is regular check-ins or calls or chats. No matter how busy it gets, there has to be those there you must have that space where there are certain persons you must check in on. You mustn't necessarily call, but just, hey, how you doing? I have a friend that always says, sup, what's up? you know, just to make you know, "Ah, I'm here, I'm thinking about you. How are you doing?" And you respond. So even when you don't get to see for months, for weeks, for years, which is okay depending on where you're staying, you just know that this person has got your back. But not to go incommunicado on someone. You say this person is my Yoruba language, so we say my Timo friend, someone who is your Oremi Atata. You don't communicate, that's not good, because communication is the life wire of any relationship. We spoke about that last week. You can't have any relationship that is sustained without communication. So communication sustains the relationship, and not just communication, but effective communication. And so, one way you can communicate is by regular check ins. You can do the check in through calls, through WhatsApp messages, text messages, but just make sure that periodically you check in. Another thing you can do is to show an interest. Now, a relationship must not be one-way traffic. So if the relationship is such that you are always on the receiving end, it will get to a point in time, whoever it is that is, pouring into you, showing up for you, we get tired. We get tired because they are always giving. They would also want to receive, and you've not placed yourself in that position to give. You feel so comfortable, so much at ease to always receive. Do you know there are certain calls I would see and I will not pick up because I know that the person is calling me for no other thing but to receive. It must not necessarily be financial request. Sometimes advice, sometimes just for you to attend an event, but the person never checks in on you year in, year out. So once you see that call, you know they need something of you. That's not a good way to nurture relationships. So you need to be intentional to make sure that you show an interest in your friend's life. If things are going down with your friend, whether for good or for bad, you need to be there. In good times and bad times, you want to be there. So you can't say someone is your friend and the person is going through stuff you don't even know. You don't know. So when things are going wrong with your friend or going right with your friend, and you're the last person to hear, that person is not your friend, because you should be the first or second port of call when things happen. So please make sure that you, on your own, you don't wait for them to tell you, "Oh, this is Joy, this was happening." You show an interest. Send a message. How is that your daughter doing? Has she finished her NYSC? Where was she posted? I hope all is good with you. How is work? Da 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 da. Just make sure you show an interest. It shows the person that, listen, I care and you're important to me. So if you don't show an interest in their lives, in their interests, it means that they are not your priority. So if you want to nurture lasting connections, please show an interest. One of the things I've become more intentional in the recent times is even those who are not within my close circle. Once in a while, I will send message. "I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you. I hope all is well with you and family." And the response I get is so heartwarming. Likewise, when people do the same to me, I'm so excited. So let's be more intentional in showing up for people. You mustn't physically show up. You can show up virtually too. And that's what we're talking about. Don't say, "I don't have time to go there." That's okay. We recognize everyone is busy. But can you just show more interest in checking out people? How is everything? Which I'm just checking in on you. I just want to know what's happening. How's that promotion gone? I hope you got it. If it didn't go well, oh, that's fine. Just encourage. So please do that. And then see, you cannot say someone is your priority, you love someone, you care for that person, and you do not gift that person. So when you have a friend and you do not gift your friend, there is something wrong with that relationship. I keep saying it's not about the value of the gift, but the thoughts behind the gift. So yes, I know you're struggling, that's fine, but you have something to gift. Even if it's a seasonal corn, you can get corn 300 naira. Every person loves corn. Pear, you can get oranges, fruits. There's a lot of things you can gift your friend. Even your time is a gift by itself. I said today, I have someone I know. When I call her, we can spend 1 hour plus catching up. But I don't call all the time. I would checking out SMS, WhatsApp, da da da, social media. But I don't call her. But when I decide I want to call her, we can spend 1 hour so catching up. And so we understand that. Listen, we're all busy doing our own stuff, but just know I got you. That's the thing. So you can't love someone without gifting. Sometimes just thoughtful notes. I just thought about your impact, your presence in my life. And I just want to say thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being my friend. I appreciate you and you're a treasure. These are very important things you can do. Don't just say, oh, the person, no, I'm not someone that knows how to express myself. So I expect you to understand. No way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Why wouldn't you know how to express that you care for someone? If you care for someone, you say it. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It mustn't be like singing it like a song, but then you need to express it. Let the person know, I really care for you. Okay? Now, there's another thing we need to talk about, which is very critical when we nurture relationships. Very critical. And that is, how we deal with conflict in our relationships. How do we deal with conflict? How do we deal with conflicts? Most of us find it difficult to deal with conflict. Now, the way you deal with, areas of disagreement is different when the person is your friend. It's different because these days we're used to calling everyone friends, everyone, acquaintance, colleagues, everyone you call everyone friend. Not everyone is your friend. Your friend is one whom you have a meaningful connection with, someone who's got your back, someone who will be there for you in good times and in bad times. So that is the one you say, this is my friend. Learn to differentiate the relationship. There is a colleague kind of relationship, there is the client kind of relationship, there is the, church members kind of, the different kinds of relationship, really. So do not confuse relationships, different kind of relationship for friendship. Friendship is meaningful, is intentional. It requires the effort of both parties. It is not parasitic. Otherwise, one person will get tired. And that's why it's important we're having this conversation tonight. So if you're just joining in, please stay tuned. This is Joy Onyesoh, the host of Friday Night Hangout. And we're having interesting conversations on how to nurture lasting connections. Now, we're going to look at navigating conflicts with grace and honesty. So conflicts are an inevitable part of our lives. Even we have personal conflicts where you have conflict with yourself. Apostle Paul said, there's always that struggle to do good. And sometimes you want to do good, but your flesh will be so weak. So imagine if you have internal conflicts, right? So how then do you think you would stay with some other person, different background, even among siblings, same background? Conflicts will be bound to happen because we have different perspective. So conflict by itself is not bad. Rather, I would say embrace it because it enables you to strengthen your relationship once you can navigate it with sincerity and with grace, right? Now, one of the things in handling a disagreement with friends is active listening and empathy. You must actively listen and understand their viewpoint. You can't be the one talking without trying to understand where the person is coming from. Because the way you think or what you might have assumed may not be what the person had in mind. Now, if you're that friend that is always assuming that because you know Joy very well or because you know Chichi very well, you make assumptions on everything they do, you assume you understand all their thought processes, that's a problem. You're going to make it a lot of wrong calls in that relationship. You will make your friends walk on eggshells with you because you're always assuming. And let me tell you, it can be draining to any relationship when you're always operating on an assumption level. You do not care to have sincere, frank conversations where you listen actively to what the person is saying, and then you ask for points of clarification where you do not understand. And then you can have that very sincere, open conversations on your perspective, the person perspective, and then you both agree to come to a middle ground. Listen, you must not always agree. So having conversation doesn't mean that, oh, we will all come to the same point of view. No. But we can always agree to disagree on certain things and we're okay with it. Whereas we know, okay, this is my perspective, is based on this, or this is my perspective based on this. But the frank thing here is I didn't mean to hurt you, I didn't mean to disrespect you, I didn't mean to dishonor our friendship, and that is understood. So that's why you need to communicate. That's why you need to have that kind of conversation. Okay? Now, the conversation needs to be very honest. Very, very honest. Where you No, you don't allow you're not ambiguous in what you say. You know how sometimes you call people, okay, let's resolve this and let's dialogue, and they will be speaking in parable inside that conversation. At the end of the day, it seems like a waste of everyone's time because you're not even nearer resolving the issue than when you even had that conversation. There are some people that are so difficult to have frank conversation with. It's either their way or no way, their perspective or no perspective. They will put it to you that that thing they said, the way they said it, that is how it's supposed to be. No room for reflecting. Oh, me. So perhaps I may have missed one or two things. Perhaps I may have assumed wrongly. And then, even when there are sorry said here and there, it doesn't make a difference. But you also want to be sure that when you say you're sorry, if you feel that you're at fault, you're asking for forgiveness, let it be from a place of sincerity. You don't want to pay lip service to that. You're just saying sorry and you do not actually mean that sorry, right? You don't mean it. You just say sorry because they expect you to say sorry and you continue doing things the same way. Then you don't want to handle conflict. Because by the time conflict keep reoccurring, and there are no common grounds and compromise, then you're already saying, listen, I do not like this relationship. Okay, so this what I said is very important. That's why some of you find yourself without any friend. No one wants to turn up for you because you cannot turn up for people. You don't want to make compromise. You don't want to find a common ground. You're so difficult to deal with, right? It can be draining to deal with such people. So please don't be that person. And I will say this, what you want others to do for you, be in a position to do it for others too. Some of us have very high expectations of others, what we can't even do for ourselves. And yet we're not willing to cut people some slacks. We're not willing to give people that thing. And some of us are very manipulative in relationships. Once people know you manipulate their emotions, they will just abandon you. And if they're like me, no drama, no too much talk. When it gets too much, I will just leave it because when you keep talking and it's the same thing, what you do, you get tired, you move on. So stop emotionally blackmailing people and stop manipulating. When you know that you've made a mistake, instead of trying to manipulate it, you know, some people don't like to be accountable. You don't want to be accountable. You don't want to say, oh, I'm sorry. Ah, yes, I know. But you know, it was not convenient for me. I misunderstood. Those things get me, it just gets me upset when people cannot be forthright. People cannot take responsibility for their actions. You want to make it, they will always want to put you on the spot. They want to manipulate their ways. Like, you call me one time, I tell me I've been calling you. What's that kind of language? You know you've not been calling me. You just called me once. And really, it's not an issue if you called me just once, but don't call and say I've been calling you. That's not right to do. Stop putting people on the defensive. There's some people that they're stuck in trade. You call somebody once, you say, oh, I've been calling you. Meanwhile, you just called once. Why do you have that need to prove that you have been calling? That means your conscience is judging you that you ought to have called that person several times. So stop it. Really, let's try to be, accountable to friendships. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to call you. I was so busy. I didn't have network. And honestly, it skipped my mind, but I had you in my heart. But I was so busy, I forgot to call you. That's okay. That's plausible. But do not lie and say, I've been calling you. Why? How? Oh, I've been sending you messages. One message. Maybe you've not even sent. I said, oh, maybe it's network, it didn't deliver. Stop it. You might think you're playing smart, but the person knows. Someone you're manipulating knows you're manipulating him on her. And the person will get to a point where they have to take a decision on that relationship. So don't do that. It's more honorable to say, oh, I forgot. We had an appointment for 2. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Or rather than you say, oh, I've been here waiting for you since. All lies. You just came in not up to 2 or 3 minutes ago. So when you have a pattern, you may not recognize that you have a pattern of saying or doing things, but the other person will come to recognize that you have a pattern. So that's not good. Oh, I'm so sorry. Things did not work out the way and I kept you waiting, please. This is what happened. So let's learn to be accountable. Let's learn to forgive. Let's learn to have honest conversations, active listening, and empathy. Now, there's a place for trust in relationship building. If I don't trust you, it's difficult for me to stay around you or do certain things. So you want you have expectations of relationship, but you've not made yourself to be such a person that can be trusted. So trust, I don't trust you, or no one will trust you because you say trust me. No. Trust is earned. You need to earn the right for people to trust you, whether it's a romantic relationship or it's just a platonic relationship. Whatever relationship you're in, trust is earned. So you cannot be a serial cheater and then you tell your partner, oh, trust me. No, how would the person trust you? So you need to work on earning that trust back by making sure you're accountable. You cannot be a serial liar and then you want someone to trust you. The person will know anything that Joy says is a lie. So I have to watch. Are you that kind of person that they will say, when you say good morning, the person will wonder if it's morning or afternoon? You say things, just wanting to suit situations. You're not credible. You're not straightforward. So you want people to trust you, then you need to make sure that you've laid the foundation that you can be trusted. One, you have to be reliable. You have to be dependable. You have to keep confidences. You don't do cho cho cho. You're discreet. Someone can trust you with certain things they don't want to hear outside. You don't have diarrhea of the mouth. These days, I find it so sad that sometimes we think the first to come up with an information, a very discreet, confidential information shows that I'm close with this person. That's so sad. Sometimes people will take, conversations that are meant to be private, you screen grab and you put it out in the public to prove what point exactly. That's also wrong. That's betrayal of confidence. There are certain things people have told you that we go to the grave with you. It doesn't matter whether you've fallen out of favor with that person. These days, people fall out of friendship, out of love, and the next thing, wham, information is everywhere. Everywhere. Things that were done in confidence, things that were done in private, stories that were told that were meant to die with you, you are breaking it all out to the public because you want to pepper the person. You want to revenge. You're so vengeful. You're so bitter. You're so resentful. You want to cause the person pain. Hmm. My dear, it takes a lot of grace and maturity not to bleed on others when you're being betrayed or when you have been betrayed, not to stab the next person or to stab the person that betrayed you. Oh, yeah, let me stab you back because you have done this. You have to be the bigger person in this. So I would always say, before you go into any relationship, please think through what do you want out of this relationship? And then what can you give to that relationship? And think about it. If things go sour, am I willing to safeguard this person? Or you go behind the scene and want to disrupt things for the person? That's when you will know all of a sudden the person is evil, the person is wicked, the person is this, the person is that. Meanwhile, you were with that person all along, enjoying all the benefits. All of a sudden, now the person is the evil one. The person you're dealing with will become very, very mindful. I tell people, I do not just judge how you treat me, I look at how you treat others. I look at what you say about others, and then I know how to deal with you. So you need to be sure that you're that person that can show understanding, compassion, and that you're someone that can keep confidence, right? You don't want to be everywhere with every gossip. You are the center of it. At the center of it is your name. If there is a gossip, then you must be attached to it in that town or in that friendship. Hello, that's not a good way to nurture lasting connection. People will not want to identify with you. Now, another way to nurture lasting connection is to build a support system. Support systems are so important in navigating life's journey. I don't know how people do not have support system do it, because honestly, you will break down. You would find it difficult to move on because there just has to be that person or that set of people who will stand in the gap for you when you're tired. These ones are your support system. Now, are you supposed to bring everyone into your group? Oh, who is qualified to be your support system? That person that is confidential, that person that is discreet, that person that is trustworthy, that person that you can count on to show up for you. There are people that you show up for them in their days of calamity. When it gets to your own, they will not want to show up for you. They will try to be smart because they feel that it's not convenient one way or the other, and they will not want to tell you. They want to be smart about it. It always boomerangs. So learn to show up for people you say are your support system. Let it not be in the mouth. Okay? Now, you also want to be sure that These are people you want to nurture relationship with that can uplift you, can encourage you. They are positive people. Let me tell us something. When a friend is going through challenges, when a friend is going through certain seasons, that is not the time to be telling the person all kinds of negative things. Whether it be health challenge, loss of job, loss of loved ones, any kind of thing it is, what your role as a support system is to uplift, to encourage, to show positive future, to give the person a reason to keep moving. You should not be the one to start telling the person all the negative things that can happen. You think the person doesn't think about that? Those thoughts are what brings anxiety and keeps the person sleepless at night. You should know when to ask certain questions and when not to ask certain questions. You should know when to observe and get the answers you need and asking. Study the mood. Some of us are not sensitive in the spirit. So when maybe the person is going through hard times, right? The person is having some health challenges. That's when you want to start getting some very, very funny details that will not add any value to anything at that point in time. Why do you want to ask that person that thing at that point in time? When the most important thing is, how are you doing, my sister? How are you doing, my brother? Are you okay? How can I help? I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. Let us pray together. But you won't do all of those things. Rather, you'll be looking for negative news, how this person died because of this health challenge, and you know that person is going through that challenge. Why should you be the bearer of bad tales? You shouldn't do that. That's not how a support system behaves. That's not about living in denial. It's about remaining positive. Remaining positive. Okay? Now, you also have to be open to new experiences. People evolve. So, some of us want to live in the knowledge of someone we know 10 years ago. So, even in that relationship, even if you've not lost connection, right? The person has evolved. You too, you've evolved. So don't want someone say, hey, this is not you I used to know 10 years ago. You used to be softer than this. You used to have more time for me. Hello, 10 years ago. What is the person's current situation now? The person has grown. The person has more responsibility. Maybe the person's children before didn't have children. Now they have little children. The person may not have been married. Now he or she is married. Maybe the person did not have health challenges. The person now have. Maybe the person now manages several entrepreneurial ventures. So before you open your mouth and say certain things, please think about it. Before you spew things to people, people will always remember how you make them feel, not just the words you say. So before you spew those things and you see someone say, hey, my friend, see how fat you are. You're looking shapeless. Da, 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 da. Please slow down. Slow down. If someone is your friend, you will know what they're sensitive to. There are certain things you should not say. It should not come from you. It should not come from you. And there are ways of saying it and putting it that will not come up as criticism. Rather, it will come up as an as an encouragement. You can say the same thing, but in different ways and different tone. There was this clip I watched online, and someone said, "Good morning," and the person said, "Good morning," and then someone said, and then I think you know said, there was how the person put it. I can't remember whatever I did, but all I'm saying is that the tone matters, right? Tone matters. Like if someone say you are fat, you're looking big, you're looking chubby. It's like you finished all the food. That's body shaming someone. That's really body shaming someone. So you don't want to mention that, right? So you want to, there's certain things you don't even want to talk about when you know the person is sensitive. Just know that the tone and what you say and how you say it is very important. It's not just what you say, how you say it and what you say is as important as what you're saying. Okay, the message you want to pass around. So please, you have to be very careful how you say things. Oh yeah, now remember the person said, oh, this will be the last morning, that this will be the last morning you will see some funny thing like that. And the person was like, what do you mean, are you threatening me? It now came out as a threat rather than as a prayer or as a greeting. So even all these messages we send around, be careful. There's some you send, the person will say, what is this? What kind of message is this? It's so ambiguous. It looks like an evil thought. Sometimes it looks like, a curse. So just be very careful. Read what you write, the tone, the message. What do you intend to say and what have you actually said? Please make sure you're saying what you intend to say. Okay? So we're going to stop for here for today. Is a lot of conversation on nurturing friendships. The idea is to just spark that thoughts and make you become more intentional in how you show up and engage for your friends, and for you to know that it takes two to tango. You can't be the only one holding up a relationship. It takes two. So you do your bit, your friend will do his or her own bit. Just know that you cannot always be on the receiving end. That's a parasitic relationship and it's draining. That's not a good way to build lasting connections. So I do hope that this, has really sparked something in you, that you now reflect, look around, take monitor, just take I'll just monitor the relationships you have and reflect on the relationships you have. Are you falling short anywhere? This is the time to make amends, and this is the time to say, this is my friend, not just by words but also by actions, in the actions that you take. Now we have a masterclass, She Speaks Masterclass, coming up on the 30th of this month. And trust me, you don't want to miss these 2 hours of immersive content. We're going to be looking at how to build, how to leverage on your momentum and sustain your momentum while using strategies to keep your business, to keep your personal brand for long term, not just a flash in the pan. So we're going to be looking at structures. What kind of structures do you need to have? What kind of systems do you need to put in place, right? Then what are some of the basics of business development? These are very frank conversations with tools that you can start implementing in the now. You don't want to miss this. And listen, distance is not a barrier, it is virtual. We're going to have this on Zoom, and it's going to cost 30,000 naira for this class. So if you want to be part of this, there's a link that is in the comment section. Just click it and just say interested, or click on the link, and a member of my team will be in touch with you. So don't miss this class. Tell someone to tell someone and share this message. Let everyone who is a budding entrepreneur, someone who wants to grow. We're entering into the final months of the year, and listen, you can still do a lot. This is the time to start setting your business right for the end of the year, so that you can end the year strong and start off the new year running. You don't wait until the end of the year. You don't wait until the new year, start putting things in place. Let us support you to put the structure you need in place, to put the processes you need to have in place, so your business can carry the kind of growth that you dream of. Okay, I love, honor, and celebrate you all. Please, I'd love to hear back from you. Thank God it's Friday. Remember to smell the roses. Remember to smell the roses. And let me have your thoughts. Let me have your thoughts. Put it in the comment section. And if I've not called your name, it's not deliberate. I see you. Don't forget to put hashtag TGIF, hashtag Friday Night Hangout with Joy Onyesoh. I love you. I honor you and appreciate you. I'll see you next week, Friday, when we come with another conversation on a different type of relationship. God bless and keep you all. From my team and I, is bye for now. See you next week, Friday. Bye. Welcome to our She Speaks Masterclass on sustaining momentum, strategies for long-term impact. Are you a visionary and ambitious woman ready to scale your business and grow your impact? I am Joy Onyesoh, and I invite you to unlock your full potential by attending this 2-hour virtual masterclass. In this class, you will discover the secrets to sustaining growth, empowerment, and success in your business. We'll cover the fundamentals of business development, building a sustainable structure, and accessing resources for growth. By joining this masterclass, you'll gain clarity on business development principles to drive growth and success, a sustainable structure to support long-term expansion and momentum, resources for growth to fuel your business expansion, and a strong personal brand to attract opportunities and impact. That's not all. You'll walk away with a clear plan to sustain momentum in your business, strategies to overcome obstacles and stay focused, and a supportive community of like-minded women holding you accountable, and of course, practical tools to drive long-term impact and success. So, register now for our Sustaining Momentum Masterclass happening on the 30th of August 2025, and take the first step towards achieving long-term success and impact. And you know what? Distance is not a barrier because this is holding virtually. Do not miss out on this opportunity to sustain momentum in your business. Register now and let's get started on this journey to success. See you on August 30th, 2025. Follow us on social media for updates and behind the scene insights. See you in class.
Are you feeling stuck in your business, professional or personal life? Or are you struggling to find purpose and direction? Imagine having a clear sense of direction, achieving your goals and living a fulfilling life. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult is here to help you. We will work with you to identify your strengths, overcome obstacles, and develop a personalized plan to achieve your dreams. With our coaching and consulting services, you will gain clarity, confidence, and the tools you need to succeed. Do not let fear, lack of clarity, or doubt hold you back any longer. Take the first step towards achieving your goals and living your best life. Contact Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult today. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult, empowering you to reach your full potential. Call, SMS, or WhatsApp +234 704 229 1171. Or you can visit our website www.joyonyesohcoachingconsult.com.
This is Friday night, Handout, creating our stories, piece by piece. This is Friday night, Handout, creating our stories, piece by piece.